The Avengers versus the Defenders War. Here it is.
What?
I don't know.
Man, I am in for this one now.
It's just a book. It's a thing.
It's a thing that happened.
It's a thing that happened.
Looks like a long time ago.
It was 73.
Wow.
That's a long time ago. It's
Yeah.
50 years.
It's a long time ago for us.
Yeah.
50 years ago.
God. No, that's not possible. I saw Kiss in concert. It's like losing the game. Just reminding Gen Xers that like all of the best years of their lives were 50 years ago. But no, this is like okay. So it's written by Steve Englehart with art by Bob Brown and Sal Buscema. It's basically like a celebration. And for the life of me, I don't know why they would use this to celebrate it, but it's been 10 years since the first issue of the Avengers. So they're like, oh man, how do we commemorate the Avengers? Let's have them look like a bunch of fucking dupes and have them get tricked into fighting another team. So they do.
So heroes versus heroes again.
More like heroes versus heroes. That's a novel concept. I mean, honestly, at Marvel, heroes versus heroes is in their DNA.
Yeah,
it's just
when they cross
Tuesday.
over, they have to
They
fight
always
each other.
fight. The first issue of Amazing Spider-Man has him fighting and beating the Fantastic Four. You'll also notice that this has thematic similarities to the JLA Avengers, in which two rival teams end up being duped by two
Bad guys.
bad guys who team up to make them chase after a totemic item that is of great importance and power to be used for a nefarious purpose, after which the teams fight and then unite and then battle their villains. That's literally the plot of JLA Avengers, and the MacGuffin of this is one of the MacGuffins in JLA Avengers. I'm like, oh, that's amazing! And Busick was just like eating it up, because Kurt Busiek wrote JLA Avengers and also wrote a letter to the X-Men office, which was printed when he was a fan during this time, in which he said that he can't read X-Men anymore because it's fucking garbage, because the X-Men are not about space. Oh man, what is this garbage? And I love that a celebrated Marvel author who has written seminal stories was also an irate fanboy who was writing letters of condemnation to the editor about seminal shit. It's actually interesting because, the first Avengers story is the Avengers versus Loki. And then 10 years later, that's the next time the Avengers would ever fight Loki again.
Well, yeah, he was licking his wounds for a long time.
No, Loki was in stories, and in fact, this pays off the end of another story with Thor and Loki, and Loki was stricken with blindness and then thrown off a cliff, and right before he's dashed on the jagged rocks below, he is saved by an unseen force, which is then introduced in the next page, and it's fucking Dormammu, ruler of the Dark Dimension. And he's like, hey, and Loki's like, who is that? I can't see! Because, Loki's blind, and he will be for the rest of the book, and it's funny and frustrating, not that he's blind, but the fact that they keep paying off the fact that he's blind, where he's just taking for face value what's going on in front of him because he's new to this.
Don't forget he's blind.
Don't forget he has no idea. Well, Dormammu will be like, let's watch, and Logan's like, and I guess I'll just listen to what's happening because I have
Come
no
on, man. You know I'm blind.
He doesn't even bring it up. He only brings it up because the reason. Okay, so we're seeing a crossover.
You have to see how evil I am. Oh, look at them fighting. Here, hold this bowl full of eyeballs. Go ahead and put your fingers in there. Oh, they're so round and slimy. Yes, they're definitely not peeled grapes or anything. And feel this witch's hair. Oh, it's all wet.
Slimy. Anyway, so Dormammu and Loki team up begrudgingly. What's great is Dormammu admits that Loki is as I am a villain for Doctor Strange, you are an equal villain to Thor. Our evil is basically the same power level. And I'm like, no,
it's not.
Dormammu is infinitely more powerful than Loki. What are you, nuts? But sure, for the sake of this, let's just say that they're at equal footing. They're not even at equal footing in this. Loki's blind and he's just like, help me, Dormammu. And Dormammu's like, we're the same, basically. And I'm like, no, you're not even a little bit.
Well, I'm trying to humble myself down. I've gotten, a couple comments that I'm just way too egotistical.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that kind of supervillain.
Exactly. So I'm gonna bring myself to your level, Loki. But
Dormammu's doing some work on himself.
But Dormammu's talking about how he hasn't been attacking the Earth lately because he made a promise that he wouldn't. And he's a man of his word. He's come up with a loophole because Dormammu was also probably a lawyer, and he's just like,
if
okay,
I don't do it, I can get someone else to do it.
That's what you think it was going to happen. He's like, I'll unleash Loki on the Avengers or the Defenders or Earth or no. He's like, I've got a plan, and I guess he needed somebody to talk to about it because he's cripplingly
Oh, he's
alone.
workshopping. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's like, I got this plan. I am going to circumvent my deal by using a device of such lethal power that it will pull the Earth. I'm not attacking it, mind you. Pull the Earth into the dark dimension, thereby making Earth part of the dark dimension, and ergo, I can do whatever I want to the Earth because it's actually part of the dark dimension, so I'm really not attacking Earth at all.
But it's still the Earth.
That feels like an attack.
Right, but
Removing the Earth from its dimension?
Right. Like, literally, seeing his plan enacted in visual display, I'm like, that is very aggressive looking.
Meanwhile, Loki's just like, yeah, all these aids you have, I don't.
Or wasted
I
on
don't get
me. You could just talk. You don't need the theatricality. It's all lost on me.
I built miniatures.
You don't need them. Or you could team up with somebody else.
Or you picked the one person who's blind right now to team up with. That's
Or
not my fault.
You could use your equal evil power to make me not blind, and then I could look at your shit, which is what Loki should have said at any point. I will join you if you make me not blind anymore. And he's like, sure. And he's just a liar. Because it's like, okay, make me not blind. He's like, later, Loki. But for now, and it's like every time there's always
Why
another
would you
thing.
ever wait?
Right.
What reason? It would only take you like a second, right?
They need the evil eye. And the evil eye is just a device. It's like the ultimate nullifier. You know, it's just a wand that has a cool like eye-shaped mouth on it, and you just shoot it at things, and it does stuff, nebulous things that you just need for the story.
Oh, that's the evil eye.
Yes, that is the evil eye, and it's not that
Move
big.
planets into other dimensions.
Sure, it could do that. It could teleport you into other timelines or dimensions.
Evil Eye has many powers.
It has many powers. It also has lots of energy. Dormammu was like, if I get the evil eye, I can use that to turn the Earth into, squiggles and then bring it into the dark dimension, and then I can rule it. Problem is, the evil eye was destroyed. And I'm like, why would you even bother then?
Why would you conceive of this plan?
Because I just found out about the evil eye today, and I also found out that it's destroyed.
So I developed a whole plan, and then someone told me
Around
it's destroyed.
But
I'm not gonna
really
throw
into
this
this
plan away.
Yeah, it's
So
so
do me a favor. Figure out a way where I can get the evil eye still.
Yeah.
That's why I brought you in, Loki.
doesn't-
I want outside opinions.
I would love that. If he was like, what do I do? Okay, the plan is essential. I need the evil eye, but it's destroyed. Go. And Loki's like, you could go back in time? I can't do that. That's one thing I can't do. That's not a conversation that happens. No, instead he's like, he just needs someone to talk to, and I guess they wanted to commemorate the, decade of Avengers by having Loki be a character in this. He could have talked to like a lowly demon or something, but instead he talks at Loki and goes, but don't worry, even though the evil eye is destroyed, I can still get it. And I need the defenders to do it.
If he told this plan to a lower demon of his dimension, they would just mock him mercilessly.
Yeah, well, no,
and then he would destroy them.
See, Dormammu is
It's a bad plan.
I find Dormammu to be more formidable and scary than Mephisto, who's just like, whoa, convenient-looking blobbish demon. Let me tell you my plan. Because that happens. In Mephisto versus the Marvel Universe, he's constantly like, here's something, and they're like, fuck you, Mephisto, you're not even in charge anymore. He's like, what?
And that's why.
Yeah. We cut to the Defenders, who are dealing with their own problems. Now, who are the Defenders? The Defenders are essentially Doctor Strange, Namor, and the Incredible Hulk. They teamed up to fight somebody, in their first adventure, and then they started adding to their ranks. This includes...
But that's not who was on the Netflix show.
No, it's not, which is why it's so frustrating. The Defenders in this are actually like characters that you would never find in a room together that, for the life of me, I don't understand their collaboration is nebulous and tenuous at best, and it's just a disaster waiting to happen. It's Namor, it's Doctor Strange, it's the Hulk, it's Silver Surfer, it's Brunhilde, aka Valkyrie, and you're just like, what the fuck are these people doing in the same room together? And what they're doing is they're selling a book called The Defenders.
Right. They don't have their own titles anymore, and
No.
so they're put.
But,
Is this Intelligent Hulk? I see him thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking. He's always thinking.
Yeah,
you know?
but he's not normally having coherent thoughts.
No, but his thoughts are always like, Hulk thinks everyone here is looking down on Hulk. Fuck them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like almost Savage Hulk. He's begrudgingly on the team. He and Namor have similar thoughts. It's just that Hulks have fewer syllables and fewer modifiers.
Okay, I saw a lot of words, but now that I'm reading them,
Yeah, they're very simple words.
Yeah, they are. They're sentence fragments. Whatever.
He has thoughts like Elmo has thoughts.
On a previous adventure, another Avenger named Black Knight had been turned to stone, And so Doctor Strange just grabbed him and brought him back to their headquarters, which is, of course, the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Just shove a sword through him, and then whoever pulls the sword out of Black Knight can be the next Black Knight.
Boom. Well, actually, Dane Whitman's like part of a lineage of Black Knights, and so you're not too far off about like the Black Knight being a mantle that you bequeath to the next like lineage and the next generation. That being said, we're not going to do that. Also, Brunhild is wielding the Ebony Blade, which is actually supposed to be used by
Black Knight.
So, you know, we do have a sword to spare.
Maybe put it in his hand and he'll stop being stoned.
That's not how it works.
Oh, it's already a closed fist. I can't.
Yeah, it's already,
I'll break his fingers.
Yeah, we're trying to not make him stone. Also, he's not conscious because his consciousness is in he's in space. Like
It's just floating around.
It's floating around in like the not afterlife and not purgatory. It looks a lot like space, but it's a dimension between worlds. It's like
but not
Is
the
it like
dark
the
not the
Soul
dark
Dimension with Adam Warlock?
No,
and crap?
that's Soul World, and that's
another
in the
thing.
Soul Gem. But like they don't call it anything. They just threw the veil in the beyond.
In the beyond.
But not the place where Beyonder comes from, which is beyond.
That's
And not
different
like-
beyond.
Not astral projecting that Doctor Strange can do.
He can, and that's the idea, is that like Doctor Strange is essentially just taking his soul out and like taking it for a spin. Black Knight's soul is in the beyond. So if they want to talk to Black Knight, they got to like yell into the beyond, and hopefully it'll reach him. Because in this beyond realm, it's not like there's all these souls. You know, he's not
I was
like
gonna say, are there other ones floating around
now
that he can like
just
talk to?
it's just him, because later Doctor Strange will go there, and when he's gone, he's like, oh, there's nobody here. And it's like,
Why did Black Knight go here?
because it was ejected from his body when he was turned into stone. It would be a waking nightmare if he was just conscious in this stone body. So we got to send him someplace. Also, we need it to happen for the plot to go on.
Right.
So Dane's soul is out there, and Doctor Strange uses the Orb of Agamotto, which he
There's
uses.
orbs now?
Yet
Oh,
another
yeah.
Agamotto
Agamotto's
thing.
a popular cat, and he's got a lot of different stuff: eyes, orbs, whatever. Yeah.
The back scratcher of Agamotto.
Yeah, that's a wand of Watum.
Oh. Whoops.
Anyway, so Doctor Strange uses the orb to basically go like, hey, do you have anything over there that you can use to get back in your body? Like literally just like, do you know anything about what's going on your side?
Tell me what you see.
Right. Well, they didn't even ask him
Rocks
for
and stuff.
floating rocks and
Clouds.
of what must be nebulas. I don't know. They ask him. His soul's floating around. He's like, oh shit, it's them calling me. And he gets the message, and it's just like, no, there's nothing here. It's just utter emptiness and desolation. I used to have faith, but now I have certain hope that you will save me.
Go get me, please.
No pressure.
Yeah. You have to save me.
Well, it's not even
horrible here.
No, I wish it were you have to save me. This is, I know you will save me now. Now that you're capable of communicating with me by
You'll save
literally
me.
like throwing your voice like it's a comet at me through dimensions.
No problem. I'm practically out of here already.
Right. So
Will it take like 5 minutes? 3 minutes?
he sends his voice through.
Okay.
In a comet
like, what
tail.
else would it be?
He just yells and it goes out. So Loki and Dormammu are in the same place.
Oh, is this the Dark Dimension?
No, it's not.
No, they went here.
They left the Dark Dimension to go to this beyond realm because Dormammu knows about Whitman's soul that's trapped here.
He's just that tuned in to all the dimensions. He's like,
Yeah.
over
No,
there.
he didn't even hear
Soul
it. He's
trapped
like,
in-
I know that, yeah. Well, I think it's because he's monitoring the Defenders and more specifically Strange, because the idea is that Dormammu was like, I can't directly involve myself on Earth lest my magic be
watch
noticed
them.
by Doctor Strange. Like,
Right.
Doctor Strange can notice my magic because it's so fucking awesome and powerful. So if I
But
literally,
he's trained to do it.
like, I can't even go near Earth. So I gotta like use Loki or my machinations in order to enact my plan of using a broken thing to send Earth to my dimension so that I can technically take over it. Like, okay. So Dormammu was like, all right. So his plan is, he's just like, oh, there it is. Like, here comes Dane Whitman's message that he sent to the Defenders, which I knew he was going to send because I was actually intercepting Doctor Strange's message when he sent it to Whitman, and I, like, whatever. So
Yeah, sure.
it's coming in, and he catches it.
with his hands.
Yeah.
Like it's a
Like
baseball.
it's a thing.
Well,
like
he
it's a
uses
physical
magic to
thing.
do it. Like, you know,
yeah.
there's magic bands. But he grabs it, he brings it in, and then he and Loki use their combined magics to, like, manipulate it
Yeah.
into saying, actually, Doctor Strange, I need the evil eye in order to change me back. I love that Dormammu also is so impressed with himself at all times. Like, they manipulate the thing, and they send it off, and Dormammu's like, look at that! Look at what we did together, Loki. Look at that. Like, if we could do that, that is proof positive of how much better we are than everyone else on
This is so great. We should get a beard.
We should just do this, man.
We should
This is
team
great.
up. Loki and Dormammu.
Loki and Dormammu. 100 years, Loki and Dormammu.
Doki, Lormammu. I don't know what our ship name is,
Figure it
but
out.
it's there.
Yeah. Hey, we'll workshop it.
Didn't you say that Black Knight was an Avenger?
Yeah.
Then why is Doctor Strange of the Defenders taking him to his secret
the
location?
Avengers want to
Don't
know
the
that
Avengers
too.
want him back?
They do.
Oh. Doctor Strange must know that he's an
sure.
Avenger.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he assume that the Avengers would want him?
He would, but he's hoping that he could just wrap this up. I mean, usually he just goes
I'll
like
just
this.
take care of it for them.
Yeah. Well, it's really I'm helping out Black Knight. I'm not helping the Avengers. I don't give a shit. Also, you should know
Very
that
insensitive. It's their friend. They want to know what happened to him. You're just taking him away, not even telling them that you found him.
I gotta explain to them.
I don't have no time to explain
Plus,
all of this stuff. I'm Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I don't even need to. I'm fucking Sorcerer Supreme. But the
do
other
what I
thing is,
want.
the Defenders are a secret team.
Oh.
So he doesn't want the Avengers to
can't
even
even tell
know
them
that they're
that
a
he's
thing.
involved.
No,
I
exactly. No, if the Avengers were to show up, it was like, oh, come on, we're gonna fix your friend. They'd be like, what the fuck is Silver Surfer, Hulk, and Brunhilde doing here? Like, what is all this?
Well, that's all the
I'm
more
having a
reason.
mixer.
He should have just gone straight to Avengers Mansion
Yeah.
with the stone
No,
Black
I
Knight
got
and
all my shit
pretended
here.
it was just him.
No, I got all my shit
Now
here.
they're gonna come looking for him. They're gonna find your secret hideout and all your friends.
They straight up do. So he gets the message. He's like, okay, the Evil Eye. All right, that seems weird to me, but you know what? Fuck it, that makes sense.
know what that is?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah. Oh, no, they've encountered the Evil Eye before. In fact, the Evil Eye was originally wielded by a guy named Prester John, who's a real person, but in the Marvel Universe is a fake person, like Thor. You know, where it's like, there's a real like mythology, but forget all that because we just made it all up over here.
All right.
And he could wield it and loses it. And look, the Evil Eye it traded hand many times, and in the last time that it was used, Johnny Storm took it because he thought he could use it to break the barrier between Earth and the Inhuman City so that he could bang Crystal. And the thing is that like if it doesn't, it's teeming with energy, and if you don't hit the choke on it, it like will overload, and so it was going
blows
to.
up.
Yeah, exactly. So like Wyatt Wingfoot shot it with an energy beam and like blew it up, and it had the force of an atomic bomb when it exploded.
Oh.
Yeah,
So there really shouldn't be anything left to like fix.
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And it certainly wasn't planned on being fixed when they broke it.
right. So Doctor Strange should be like, oh no, that's
Yeah.
impossible.
That's literally Silver Surfer's like, there is no more Evil Eye.
Right.
Reed Richards
Guess
told
he's
me
screwed.
it exploded into nothingness.
I'm sure we could just make one, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, they're not going to make it. Oh, also, Hawkeye's here. I forgot to mention that because he's so inconsequential to the story. But Hawkeye left the Avengers or was kicked out or whatever. He's such a pain in the ass. He's just like, yeah, everything you say makes me want to leave. He's just such a hothead.
He's like, okay, you shoot arrows. I think I can find another guy who shoots arrows.
They replace him with the swordsman. They're like, how about if we throw away the long-range attacker with the close-range attacker? Two regular guys.
But still melee.
Still
gotta be
melee,
a regular guy.
A regular guy who can do the same thing that if like we gave it to Captain America, he could do just as well. So Hawkeye's here, and he's just kicking around, and he's like, yeah, it is fun.
Is he like, hey, Doctor Strange, why would Black Knight know that he needs the evil eye to like save
No,
him?
he couldn't care
How would
less.
he learn that? Where would that information
Maybe
come
the Ebon
from?
Blade is mystical and he knows about mystical stuff. It's British,
Yeah.
right?
Who?
The Ebon Blade?
The Ebony Blade. Well, it predates like yeah.
Yeah. So like Crusades, the Evil Eye.
Yeah,
they're
I suppose
like
it's
connected.
plausible
There's
he would
no
know
connection,
about
but
it
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's
somehow
true,
figure
actually,
out
yeah.
that where he is requires him to have it to get out of.
Yeah. It's suspicious, but it doesn't mean he doesn't know.
Right.
You know, he's been kicking around the Avengers for a while.
Okay.
So they're like, all right, let's go. So they're gonna deal with it.
Okay.
So the Avengers knock on the Sanctum Sanctorum door, being like, hey, we know Black Knight's in there. Let us in. And then a mystical wind like throws them all into the air. And they're like, ah! And I love it because they don't believe that it's magic. They're like, Iron Man specifically is like, oh, they must have some kind of like repulsor thing that like blasts us into the air.
I don't believe in magic.
It's Doctor Strange. You know magic is real.
Yeah, they don't really know him very well. So, Thor knocks on the door. He pounds on the door. He's like, let me in, I'm fucking Thor. Wong goes to the door. Hello? May I help you?
Can I help you with something?
No, I'm sorry, not interested in any subscriptions. Thank you.
No solicitations.
He basically is like that. Thor's like, what do you mean, hello? Don't talk to me like that. I'm the fucking god of thunder. I'm gonna burst up your door. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry to say that the doctor is most indisposed at the moment and he doesn't wish to be disturbed. Good day. Close the door in their faces. And Thor's like, oh, fuck this, and just smashes the door open with his fucking hammer. And they all go in and Wong's like, whoa!
Oh,
That is
was a
uncalled
violation.
for. So then they all get pushed with like more wind out of the door and
Wind thing again.
yeah, it must be the winds of Watum or something. But in any case, the winds blow them out. But they all get thrown out the door, and then they're like, "Damn it! He did it to us again!"
I mean, I guess we could just walk back in.
And they saw Black Knight, and he was turned to stone. And like,
Oh.
Doctor Strange must have turned him into stone, and he's not talking to us because he's the perpetrator. Like he's an asshole.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be it. It's the only explanation.
And Thor's like, oh, fuck that. We're going to cave in their heads with my hammer. And meanwhile, Dormammu's like, yes, this is amazing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I don't even have to do anything. They're fighting each other.
This would have happened basically whether I intervened or not.
Yes. The only difference is that Strange is literally busy. Like, he just wasn't there at the time. So Strange talks to the team and he explains that, like, okay, so actually, when the evil eye was destroyed, it let off the energy of an atomic blast. But when it exploded, it just split into 6 identical parts.
Yeah.
Like things do, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you break a thing, it breaks into 6 identical
Copies of itself.
copies of itself.
Yeah.
That are the same size.
Usually, yeah.
Yes.
But have 1/6 the power.
Yes.
Okay.
And so
Yes.
they go to 6 different points on the Earth, and so Doctor Strange's like,
Oh, that's why they need Hawkeye, a 6th member.
yeah, that's
they
right.
just need another guy.
So Doctor Strange's like, awesome. And I love it because he goes, 6, the sacred number. And this explains why there's 6 sections, and there's 6 of us. And Hawkeye goes, stop saying 6. All right, we get it. Calm down.
Everybody gets one.
And they're like, all right, and Hulk, you got to help us out too, because like they're always like, Hulk is always like, wait, why am I here?
Wait, what are we doing? Okay, Hulk. Okay.
Yeah, focus.
Just, okay. This thing, go
This is
get
what we're going.
it.
Go get it. No, Hulk's
Cool.
more like
Smash it.
Hulk is literally. He's not like a child. He's just more like, why am I in this book? Like, shouldn't I leave? And they're like, whoa, no, Hulk. So, well, wait. You can leave when we're done with this one thing. And he's like, all right.
Okay.
And that's him.
We're
That's
just
him,
keeping
and
you from smashing things.
That's Namor every time. Namor's always like, yeah, I quit. And maybe I'll take over the surface world and fuck that blonde from the Fantastic Four. And they're like, that is literally all you want to do, Namor.
I figured being a part of the Defenders, she'd see me in a new light.
Right? And then, maybe we could like team up. Huh?
It turns
No,
out it's a
Namor.
secret team. I can't even tell her.
Yeah.
Why did I join?
Yeah, why did I even join? So they all split
Stupid.
off. they split off, and fucking Dorman was just like, this is amazing. He puts his hands on his hips as Loki describes it. He's peacocking all over the place. And he's like, God damn it. Like Loki goes, I gotta get better friends. Like, what am I doing?
So glad I
What am
can't
I
see
doing with
this.
my life? I can't see my own failure. But he's just like, damn it, this son of a bitch. Like, he's not gonna win. He's gonna lose. He's not gonna fix my eyes, man. I gotta do something. So he uses projection power and he goes to the Avengers and he's just like, is anybody there? And he bumps into Captain America and Captain America's like, Loki! And he's like, oh good, anyone, listen! And then all the Avengers come in and Thor's like, oh fuck, it's Loki, I'm gonna fucking kill you! Like, Thor is a coiled spring throughout this whole book.
You already tried me and you threw me off a cliff and I was blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing back? I thought you were dead.
That's right, I thought you were dashing the rocks, but he's like, ah! And Loki's like, okay, hang on. And they're like, oh, let's hear him out. He's here like under the pretense of friendship, he's not attacking us, what do you got?
Yeah, he did break in, but
He appeared, but he
Yes.
does...
Is he a physical form? Can they touch
No,
him?
it's a projection. But
Okay.
like projections can also be fun. It doesn't matter. But Loki goes, for a second he thinks, let's just tell them the truth. Let's just tell them what's going on. Nah.
But then I wouldn't be the god of trickery.
That's it. So he goes, the Defenders are a team of heroes and they're evil and they're bad and they're trying to get the evil eye and they're going to destroy everything. And yeah, they took your friend and they turned him into stone and everything. And they're like, what?
I
He's like,
knew it.
I knew it.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Good thing
And
our
here's-
most hated enemy came to us and told us this obvious lie. And also Hawkeye's there. Like, everyone is always like, oh, and also Hawkeye's there. He's like, oh, and Hawkeye 2. And they're like, oh, man, Hawkeye 2? Yeah, what a piece
turncoat.
of shit.
wow, that's nothing like the Hawkeye I know. He must have completely changed everything about himself.
Well, when he first started, he was a villain, and then he becomes a hero and joins the Avengers. But now he must be a villain.
Well, he reverted.
He reverted.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I love it because Swordsman was also a bad guy and converted, and he's like, well, Leopard doesn't change his spots. And I'm like, fuck you, Swordsman.
I would know. I'm going to betray you.
One day I will bang Mantis, die, and then become a plant clone that will betray you. So
The plant clone's gonna do it.
That's right. So so now we have our mission. All the Defenders have split off, and so all the Avengers must split off to fight the Defenders.
Who's on the Avengers? I don't think we've been through the roster yet.
It's Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, and also Vision and Scarlet Witch and Mantis and Swordsman.
Okay.
Oh, they have one more.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I should tell you where all these pieces are on Earth.
Oh, they tell you?
Yeah, Osaka, Japan, Rorutu, French Polynesia, Fort Wayne, Los Angeles, Monterrey, Mexico, and Sucre, Bolivia.
Okay.
So Silver Surfer goes to reclaim the first sixth of the evil eye, and it's in a location with an active volcano and these Aztecian-looking native inhabitants who immediately see Silver Surfer and they're like, oh, he's a god.
Well, yeah.
They're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like
effectively, he is.
Yeah, okay.
Power cosmic, man.
Yeah, he could do anything. So he's just like, just stop it! Like, he Picards. He's like, no, there is no god. Or if there is, he'll eat your planet one day.
Yeah, the only one that you could argue might be is going to kill you.
Yeah, but Surfer off-panel checked the whole area and couldn't find it. And he's like, oh, fuck, I can't find it. And then they're like, you must
be right here.
Right, but they're like, you must be a volcano god. And he's like, volcano? Oh, maybe it's in the volcano.
I certainly looked everywhere.
I didn't look in the volcano.
I didn't look in the volcano.
So he goes into the volcano and he's
what
like,
about under the dirt? Maybe
because
it's
why would I
He
look in the
see
volcano?
through the dirt. He didn't look at the volcano.
I see. He looked everywhere except the volcano.
That's right.
The one place anyone would look because it's beautiful and
Yeah,
enchanting.
because it's worth looking at. Yeah.
And like terrifying and
I
devastating
hate
at the same
volcanoes.
time.
I think they're hideous. I just didn't want to look at it. I guess I have to.
Here's the thing. When you're like a spaceman and you see a volcano, it's just like Earth has a giant zit. It's gross.
It
You
is
don't want to
gross.
look
It's
at it.
uncomfortable for me to look at.
No, it's true.
But I guess I will.
So he jumps into the volcano and he's like, oh, cool lava.
Oh, God. Oh, this is the worst thing. It's the thing I hate
It's
the
your
most.
Silver Surfer. In this one, he's like, oh,
It's like the Earth's blood. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he jumps in and he sees the lava and he's like, I can jump in the sun. I could deal with this. So he just goes under and he's like, this is awesome. And so he's like blasting the lava, just like trying to unearth the piece of the eye. Meanwhile, Scarlet Witch and Vision have arrived in their Quinjet. And
They went to the same place?
oh yeah, just coincidentally.
Oh,
well,
they
Loki
picked
told
that
them where they
place.
were.
I see,
That's
yeah.
how they all fragmented off. But while Silver Surfer's blasting of the volcano actually triggered an eruption
Sets
of the
off
volcano.
the volcano.
Yeah, and so
He almost kills these people.
oh yeah, no, he does. And they don't die, thankfully. But
Right.
like
Well, the heroes are going to save them.
yeah, but he blasts the volcano open, and the eruption of the volcano also hits the Quinjet and knocks the Vision and Scarlet Witch out of the air. So Wanda falls because of
Oh,
course,
so they're attacked.
yeah, that's right. And as a
Oh.
woman, of course, she immediately faints, and so she falls from the sky, and Vision has to save her.
my God.
And so he
Silver
catches.
Surfer hit us with a volcano. What a dirty trick.
At first, they just think it's an eruption, but then
Oh,
Silver
but
Surfer emerges from the volcano, and they're like, "Oh, son of a bitch, hit us with a volcano!" So Vision catches Scarlet Witch, and he's just like, "You son of a bitch!
Look what you've done.
You almost killed the human being that I'm having sex with. I'll fuck you up." And so they fight, and it's a pretty rad fight because it's like an android or a synthezoid versus a being imbued with the power cosmic in the heart of a erupting volcano. And it's like if you describe that, or if you'd made that in like a comic book or a movie, you'd be like, wow, that's pretty freaking dope.
That is pretty cool. Those are
So-
two interesting, very powerful characters.
In an interesting
You could
setting.
imagine them being maybe equally matched.
Right, and they're in a setting where it's like you can't see like characters fighting in a volcano unless you're watching The Northman. It's erupting.
It wasn't erupting before they got there.
And that's what the natives noticed, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's erupting. We must have a sacrifice to appease our volcano god." And they found Scarlet Witch's body right there.
Oh, that's convenient.
So they just drag her in front of some conveniently flowing lava, and they're like, "Well, the lava."
The lava's red, she's red. This is perfect.
Because normally we'd throw her in the volcano, but the volcano's coming to us, so we'll
Yeah.
just put her in the path of the lava.
It's way easier than this normally is.
Exactly.
We do this all the time.
Unfortunately, this
Oh,
lava
it's like
flow.
10 feet away from us, so it's certainly not hot and burning us up.
And while it is convenient, it will also consume us and our entire civilization. But whatever. But once it hits her, it'll appease the god and he'll
that'll
spare us.
stop.
But while
makes sense.
Surfer's like blasting at Vision, he unearths coincidentally the sixth fragment of the evil eye, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And they're both going for the evil eye. and they wrestle for it. That's when Vision notices that Scarlet Witch is only moments away from death. And he's like, I have to choose between my mission or the woman I love. And of course, immediately he saves Scarlet Witch.
You mean he doesn't get angry at the volcano and be like, hey, you jerk, you almost killed the woman I'm having sex with?
Nah, he already did that.
Fight it more?
So he grabs Scarlet Witch and he flies away, and Silver Surfer's like, sweet. And he takes the wand and he leaves. And I guess he also saves the day, but I see that behind him, as he flies away, the volcano's still erupting. So Silver Surfer goes to Doctor Strange and he's like, here you go. Meanwhile, Doctor Strange is like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with the Avengers? Like, they must have gone bad. And Surfer's like, I mean, maybe. We don't really know.
All I did was like throw them out of my house with a huge hurricane force wind.
I wasn't even there. That's just built-in spells.
Yeah.
That's his security system.
Oh, he's basing this on what happened with Silver Surfer.
Exactly. Like, they attacked you? Why?
Did you talk about it maybe?
But he does assume... No, they don't do that. They can't do that
Nobody
until the
does
end.
that.
But Doctor Strange is like, maybe Loki is controlling their minds.
Well,
And I'm like,
is,
why
in a
would
manner
you
of speaking.
jump to that conclusion since you don't know Loki's involvement in this story?
Oh yeah.
But
I don't know, I got this weird energy signature off of the voice that came back. Felt like it was Asgardian.
yeah, especially because this is the first appearance of Loki in any Avengers story since the first issue of the Avengers. But
Right.
whatever.
It's not like he's constantly messing with their minds.
No!
One time that happened. Why doesn't he send Silver Surfer to get all the fragments?
I don't know. That
Yeah,
would be
he's
a great
incredibly
idea.
fast and powerful.
Yeah, why would Silver Surfer join a team? So Valkyrie gives Hawkeye a ride, of course, on her mystical Pegasus, and so they
Is he
go-
just in the back going, yeah!
He's more like trying to suppress a boner because, yeah. So
Yeah.
They land in Mexico, and she's like, "This is your stop," and he's like, "Awesome." And then Doctor Strange shows up, and he's like, "Hey, the Avengers have gone bad, and they're trying to fuck up our plans. So if you see them, fight them." And Hawkeye's like,
Don't ask questions.
And Hawkeye's like, "What?"
That's why I'm here. I couldn't stand him.
Valkyrie's like, "Well, fuck Avengers. I don't care. I'll fight them." Because Valkyrie's all about action. And Hawkeye's like, "Well, if Valkyrie's all about action." And then he forces himself on her and they make out for a second.
Oh.
He says, "Well, I'm a man of action myself. Catch my drift." And he makes out with her and she's like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Oh my God.
He's just like, "All right, fair enough." And she goes,
All right, my bad.
"Yeah, I misread the room."
Oh, okay.
And she goes, "But I must admit it wasn't completely unpleasant. Ho, ho, ho." And you're like, no.
Creepy.
Jeez.
So she flies away and he's like, "Wow, no, that's a woman."
She gave me what for?
Yeah, she pushed back.
Yeah.
Normally, when I force myself on women, they just kind of acquiesce.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
I
into
hate
it.
that.
They say, not like this, not like this.
Yeah. That gives it new meaning that I don't really care for. So while he's like musing to himself about the Avengers and his previous history as being criminal and is turning over a new leaf, Iron Man appears. And Iron Man's like, "Well, all right, so the piece is in Mexico. If it's been in here for a little while, I would imagine that maybe like the local university maybe recovered it and is studying it because like I'm a smart person and I value technology." So he goes to the university and sure enough, the head of the university is like, "Yeah, we have it right here."
I keep it on my desk as a paperweight.
No, they're studying it. He brings it out for Iron Man, and Iron Man's like, "Cool, can I like look at it really quick?" No, you can
Hey,
look at it right here.
can I see that for a second?
You can see it right here. And he's like, "No, I want to."
No, I want to see it with my hands.
See with your eyes, not with your hands.
So he regrettably hands it to Iron Man, and then Hawkeye shoots a grapple arrow through the window, catches the fragment of the evil eye, and then pulls it out the window, and then the two of them fight.
Nice.
And it's pretty fun.
And Iron Man beats him immediately, right?
No,
Oh,
it's actually
no?
a pretty cool fight.
Oh.
And I do like it, and it's reminiscent, of any Hawkeye Iron Man fight because it's like you corporate stooge, whatever. He doesn't say that. It's not
Right.
it's not Green Arrow. But Hawkeye like yells at Iron Man about how he's like, "What I have to do is a good cause."
Right.
And he thinks to himself, saving Black Knight. And Iron Man thinks to himself his interpretation of what the Defenders are doing, which is trying to take over the world.
Yeah, that's plausible.
Yeah. So they fight, and basically Iron Man is like, "You're one more arrow," or something like that. And Hawkeye grabs the arrow and he cracks it over Iron Man's head, and it was an acid arrow. And so acid just starts eating away at Iron Man's helmet. He's like,
jeez.
"Holy shit, I'm gonna fucking die!" So he flies away, and he's like, "Maybe if I fly fast and high enough, it'll evaporate the acid," which wouldn't happen, but he does do it. And
Maybe
so-
if I just repulsor blast my face, it'll blast the acid off. Boom, dead.
This isn't written by Warren Ellis.
Why don't you just take off your helmet?
Because I can't let anyone know that Iron Man is also secret billionaire industrialist Tony Stark.
Right.
Iron Man's like, "All right, fuck you."
Gloves are coming off.
Yeah, so Hawkeye like fires an arrow at him, and Iron Man just blasts the arrow out of midair, and he's like, "Oh." And Iron Man just hits him with a repulsor blast and just beats the ever-living shit out of him.
Nice.
While that happens, Hawkeye fires another arrow straight up into the air, and Iron Man's like, what the fuck, man? You're losing your touch. It's a magnet arrow, and it pulls Iron Man's hand like out of the way while he's firing a repulsor blast. It hits a construction site, which looks suspiciously like a completely finished building. And it caves in the building that thankfully no one was in, and Iron Man gets distracted.
Well, it's going to be a future construction site when they have to repair it.
Damn right. So Iron Man does not get the fragment, and instead
Wow.
Hawkeye does, and he leaves.
Okay, so 2 pieces of the evil eye to the Defenders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Defenders get them all.
Oh.
Yeah, well, they need to because Dormammu has to get the
Yeah,
thing.
but
No, I
each
assumed it was going to be
issue-
3 and 3.
Well, each issue is like another like matchup. They were like, oh man, Hawkeye versus Iron Man, Namor versus Captain America, Doctor Strange versus Black Panther and Mantis. Because, you know, Mantis.
Right. So, this book is just like, is this like trying to make people like the Defenders?
Yes.
Like, look, they could beat
They could beat the Avengers. Yeah, that's
They're
right.
a legitimate team.
That's exactly what it is.
Gotcha.
So Black Panther and Mantis fight Doctor Strange. They don't even know if he's like magic. Like it's like they've never met him before. It's like it's 1972, 73. Like you know who Doctor Strange is.
He's been around.
Yeah, they fight in Indiana, so they were fighting like on a farm. And unfortunately, you know, like the farm owner is like, hey, get the fuck off my lawn. So he gets out his buckshot and he like fires at Doctor Strange, who is battling both Mantis and Black Panther at the same time. And so the stray shot like confuses and scares the hell out of all of them. Mantis goes and like knocks his ass out. And then Doctor Strange is like, all right. And he just uses a spell and he saps them of their consciousness for a few minutes. And I'm like, you could do that? You could be like, fuck it. And then it's like, oh, I'm unconscious for a
Sleep.
while.
Yeah.
Sleep!
From a distance.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to touch him.
Like, why do you ever fight anyone? So he takes
he
the
didn't
piece.
think he forgets he could do that.
That's right. So he takes the piece and he leaves.
I don't like to do it because, like, sometimes they pee themselves. When they're
it's
fully
really
relaxed,
embarrassing.
I don't want anyone to go through that.
Exactly.
That's basically Professor X in the movies.
Yeah.
like,
You frozen now.
Oh, there's people around me. All of them are frozen. Every
Right.
single one.
All of them.
Can't move.
So you freeze time. But only right here.
Only in their minds.
Yeah, I pretty
That's
much
messed
freeze
up.
their
I
bodies.
convince them that their time has frozen. So
But
they
their
don't
hearts
want to
keep
move.
beating, so they keep getting oxygen.
Oh, yeah.
And very shallow breaths, I guess.
Right. And they
Yeah.
don't blink either. But anyway, so Doctor Strange leaves, but admitting that he feels bad about it. You know, he's like, Like, I
I'm
wish
sorry.
I didn't have to kick the shit out of my friends. Or
Was
would-be
the-
friends.
They're not your friends. Yeah.
Part of the evil eye just on this farm?
Yeah.
It's just sitting there.
They found it already, and then they
They just
take
picked it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that he said, dang it, they'll spook the livestock.
Yeah. That's his problem.
No
So he-
livestock in the background.
No, but he also fires a huge, loud weapon at them.
Oh no, the animals are used to that, trust me.
Yeah, I do that. all
Well,
the
you know,
time.
the horses go lame or anything.
Also, I just like firing my guns because I'm in the middle of America.
Yeah, I'm in Indiana. I just get to shoot
I
you.
love that for him. The penalty for spooking his livestock is
It's death.
You spook my livestock? You
You're gonna
spook my
die.
fucking livestock?
It's like these are the Avengers. They're
Fucking
they're
kill you.
an internationally recognized organization. Like,
I don't give a shit.
How come there are no livestock? With why isn't there a stampede at the end?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're ruining like every
know.
other place.
'Cause it
Volcano went off.
I gotta move on.
Building of a university destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, this guy's farm should be up
I
in
know.
flames
I
at the
think
end.
it's like, no, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
He's a redneck, and there probably are no livestock. He's
Yeah.
just looking for a reason to shoot them.
Looking for an excuse to shoot at people. Yep.
I feel endangered.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange leaves with the piece, and then Dormammu's watching from like a nearby floating rock, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, why are they being fought at all? Like, why are the Avengers bothering them? They should just get
How
the
do they
six
even know
pieces,
what's going on?
make the goddamn thing, and then I can take the Earth and suck it into the dark dimension. Like, what the fuck is happening? Loki, you know something about this?" And Loki's like,
No.
Loki's like,
No,
"What?
I don't."
How could I know anything about it? I'm blind. Unless you want to make me not blind." He's like, "Shut the fuck up about being blind, man."
Also, I don't know if you know this. I
care.
don't have the power to turn you back into a sighted
No, he
person.
doesn't want him to stab him or anything. He's just-
You're talking like I know what to do about that.
yeah.
You said you could fix it. Oh, and I can.
And
yeah.
I can- and
yeah,
I can.
I definitely.
And I can make it not my problem anymore.
Yeah. No, he's just like, okay, maybe I can like use this to my advantage. And Loki goes,
Yeah?
maybe you could make me see too. And he goes, oh, I can't do anything until this is over. They totally occupy my mind at this
I'm so
time.
distracted.
line-
This is just, it's like a car crash, man.
They totally occupy my mind.
Which is like,
It's like what you say when you're infatuated with somebody.
yeah. I'm sorry.
I can't focus on anything.
Shouldn't you be studying for your midterms? I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Stacy. She just totally occupies my mind at this time. So anyway, he goes, be quiet, another issue is starting. And so Swordsman goes to look in the jungles of Bolivia where he finds a Germanic castle. And he's like, what the fuck is a big German castle doing in the middle of Bolivia? Perhaps some errant Nazi evading capture from The Hague built it.
Built it.
Yeah.
But a castle?
But
Yeah.
there's castles in Europe because they were built hundreds of years ago. A
Yeah.
modern Nazi wouldn't build a fucking
Maybe
stone
he was
castle.
homesick.
Oh, I long for the castles of my homeland.
Yeah, that's what Swordsman assumes is what happened about this.
Fucking amazing. You know, while I'm hiding from Israeli Nazi hunters,
I should
let me just
probably build a big castle.
German castle.
Maybe make a flag that
In the
says,
jungle.
put up a Nazi flag for good measure.
Well, that'll make it feel like home.
Yeah, perfect. So, Swordsman's going in for a landing with his Quinjet. Brumilda just smashes it with her Pegasus, and she's like,
Nice.
fuck you, and then leaves. She just disappears. She smashes his plane
hit and
and then
run.
just disappears. Yeah, it's a hit and run. So he goes to the castle, and he knocks on the door, and a blonde German answers the door, and he's like, oh, good, you speak English, thank God, because I can't. I don't know what the fuck the language is here. So he goes in, and he's
Well,
given
it's
it...
not German.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he's not German.
No. The swordsman's not German, but the
Yeah.
This guy is
the
actually.
castle owner is German.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh man, right on the money on this one.
I thought it was gonna be like a mistaken.
yeah, no.
Okay.
Swordsman is looking around the castle, and he finds Brumhilde just going through their shit.
Oh.
She's like, oh, I found all this treasure. Maybe they want. Maybe it's in here. She's just literally just digging through shit.
Hey, look, a chest of treasure.
Yeah. But Swordsman's got swords, and so does Brumhilde because she's wielding the ebony blade. And he's like, "You have the ebony blade. That just cinches that you attacked Black Knight, turned him into stone, and took his blade. You fucking asshole.
That's definitely what happened.
On guard." So they have a cool sword fight, which is very much evocative of an Errol Flynn flick.
And they're in a German castle. This is perfect.
That's why the castle.
Why
is
there's
here.
a castle there? That's,
I love it. It's
Up
like they
the
drew it
stairs,
first, and then they
swing on ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Come on.
swinging on tapestries. So they battle. Meanwhile, the castle owner goes to guard more precious treasure because literally she opens up a pirate's treasure chest.
Yeah, that's stolen Nazi gold, man.
Doubloons. But there's another one that he's guarding, and that one has.
You never put all your secret Nazi gold in one chest.
Exactly.
You split it up.
That's right. And you keep the fragment of the evil eye in your other secret Nazi gold chest.
Yeah, the one that's not out for display.
So Swordsman goes and checks it out. He tries to grab it, and then the Nazi shoots the swordsman, and Bloomhilde's like, "Oh my God! This guy's gonna die in this Nazi castle, and for no good reason whatsoever." So she takes the evil eye fragment, which is just literally a duplicate of the evil eye at this point.
Yeah.
And the cops show up, and she's like, "Really sorry that happened, but at least people are here, and they'll take you to a hospital. Bye."
Because I wasn't going to do that. I was just going to say it's a shame this happened to you, but you're dead.
Die well, I am Valkyrie. No, she's like, she was musing about doing it, but since the police are here, they're going to do it anyway.
oh, thank God I don't have to help you.
Yes, so they take her. So they take him away, and she leaves. Another score for the defenders.
Jeez.
So Captain America goes to Japan to look for the fragment, and the Japanese are like, "Boo, Captain America! Fuck off! You dropped a bomb on our cities. You're garbage." And he's like, "Shut the fuck up! I wasn't even there."
Oh, what
I
are you
was
gonna nuke
frozen
us
in a block of
again?
ice, okay?
Basically that. I'm like, it's 73. They weren't doing that. The Japanese were not like, "Boo, America! What are you doing?" I mean, they were probably doing that, but
I mean, maybe some of them.
maybe some of them. But not, I guess if Captain America shows up, yeah, they're like, "Boo!" But anyway, they're like, "Boo, you suck." And Cap is just like a coiled spring. Listen to all of you. Look, I'm not even American right now. I'm an Avenger. Okay, shut up. And then Namor shows up, and he's like, "I already got the thing." While you were yelling
It's
at the
already over.
Japanese. Well, because Namor's an asshole. Don't forget, every time Namor could, Captain America's being yelled at by the Japanese, and Namor has the piece. He can just go to Doctor Strange, and instead he's like, "You could take it from me, if you want." And
I'd
Captain
like to see
America's
you
like,
try.
"Okay," so they fight.
Nice.
Well, they don't right away fight. They're honorable men, and they knew each other because they were both on the Invaders back during World War II. So. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They're old friends,
This is a
kind.
throwback.
Yeah, war buddies.
Exactly, and it's more sad that way. It's more tragic. So they both meet on the battlefield, which is to say this street, and he's just like, "Okay, I've got the eye. Next move is yours." And Cap's like, "Okay, where?" Just hits him in the face with the shield.
I wish I saw that coming.
No, he did. And then it becomes a knockdown, drag-out fight. So Namor's like, all right, I'm done fighting you. I'm going to leave. So he's jumping in the ocean. And Cap's like, oh, fuck. If he hits the ocean, I'm sunk. So he just throws the shield upside down. And so he dives into the shield.
And skips.
That's awesome.
So he's just floating there. He's like, oh, no.
Well, what am I going to do?
I guess tilt a little bit and just fall in the water.
It's made of vibranium. It should sink like a stone. So anyway, they're fighting in the water. They're just splashing. And then Sunfire shows up. Japanese nationalist hero and and sometimes member of
he's a mutant.
So Sunfire's like, well, what are you doing here in my country with this thing? Well, maybe I'll take it.
Why do you want this thing?
Fuck both of you.
Yeah, what's so important about this thing?
Well, if it's so important, then it belongs to Japan. It's mine now.
Okay.
I don't understand. Namor's in the water. How can you take it away from him? He should be undefeatable.
Well, because Sunfire could fly.
And it was above the water.
Except
It
Namor
wasn't
can fly
underwater yet.
too because the wings on his feet make him fly. So he's like, hey. And I love that Namor calls him a nationalist moron. Sunfire's just going on and on about the Japanese and how important Japan is and how, this is important to Japan that I gotta do. So shut the fuck up, you nationalistic moron! I gotta save the universe in this goddamn thing. And so he flies after
Well, yeah,
him.
I'm sure if I was in your homeland, you'd be talking about things under the sea, you giant crab.
So anyway, so Namor flies, and Cap like grabs on one of Namor's legs, so he flies too, and they're like, "You idiot!
You're too heavy. You'll weigh me down."
Exactly. So they're fighting. Namor like gets the upper hand, knocks Cap down, grabs him on the ankle, and he's like, "I need it to turn the Black Knight from stone back to flesh, you dummy." And Cap's like, "What? Oh." And I love he goes, that doesn't jibe with the other facts, Namor. What about, he goes, believe me or not, asshole, I gotta go. And he drops him.
I'm not here to like explain everything to you.
Yes.
I've done more than anyone else. That's enough.
The most rational member of the Defenders
is
Namor, and it's like, no.
What?
So Namor like fights Sunfire and just like punches him really hard, and Sunfire drops the evil eye fragment, and it falls in the ocean where Captain America is conveniently swimming, and he catches it, and then he goes to land. Namor's like, okay, you gotta give it up. And Cap's like, okay, but I'm coming with you, and we'll figure this out together.
There we go.
And so Cap gets in the Quinjet and he follows Namor, and they both go.
So you got like a bonus
Yeah.
Sunfire versus Namor fight.
Hey, got a fun mutant in there. Hey, how about that?
Cool.
And then we get a dope fight where it's like, watch Hulk fight Thor. Cool. Here we go.
That is cool.
And that's what it is. It's just Hulk fights Thor. They smash
Where
up
do they go?
Los Angeles. And they just smash up Los Angeles to get it, and it's really fun.
And they cause lots of
They
destruction.
cause a ton of destruction, and they're both like quite evenly matched. And then before we find out who would win in a fight between Hulk and Thor, the Avengers and the Defenders show up and they're like, knock it off! We worked it out!
Off panel.
But don't worry, because let's go back. Let's go back. Figure out why that happened. So Doctor Strange looking at a table full of identical pieces, the exact same fucking thing 6 times or 5 times.
And he's just gonna.
Basically. Well, he's like, what do I do with this? Hang on. Like, we got 4 pieces. Let's figure this out. Oh, so they do that. Namor shows up and he's like, hey, I'm here. I got the other piece. And the Avengers too. And Doctor Strange's like, what are you doing, man?
You've betrayed us.
No time to talk. We must fight.
No, thank God they don't. Because we've already done that for like 6
No, time out. Everybody time out.
So then they wrap up what happened in the previous issue,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, explain yourselves. And so they do, and they're like, oh. And so I love them like all talking and working things out. I don't care for Valkyrie being chatted up by both Namor and Swordsman in this very aggressive looking panel. Where she is not
Just like-
enjoying this conversation. It is very much just a depiction of a woman at a club at any time.
Yeah. One of the men is almost completely naked.
He leaves nothing to the imagination.
Could you please put something on?
Well, I knew Swordsman is just talking about swords in some kind of phallic way. But anyway, Silver Surfer goes to Vision and Scarlet Witch, is like, hey, sorry I mopped the floor with both of you. If I had known that like we were on the same side, I wouldn't have kicked your ass.
Scarlet Witch is like, wait, what happened?
Basically that. She's like, it's fine. We all jump to conclusions.
He's like, I'm sorry I listened to Loki for no reason.
That's fair.
To Loki.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You
Yeah,
did
wait.
listen to Loki.
Here's
What
the thing.
Fuck were you thinking?
Even if Loki had told them the truth,
Yeah. Yeah, they still...
They'd have been like, you listen to Loki, though.
Right, why?
Yeah.
So they go, so they're like, all right, let's go get Thor and Hulk before they destroy the goddamn city. So they go, they're caught up, Hulk recovered his evil eye, and then Doctor Strange's like, great, give it to me. And Hulk's like, give it to you?
This is Hulk's.
Yeah. Well, Hulk's like, I smashed all this shit, and I took a beating from Thor all to get this thing, and I gotta give it to you?
Now you're telling me he's on my side?
It's bullshit.
Why was he punching me if he's on my side?
Yeah, so he smashes the ground out of frustration. Everyone's like, oh! And they're all like, oh, Jesus. And then he's like, this is bullshit. And he's, here you go, you friggin'
I don't
idiots.
even know I'm on this team or any team.
Yes.
It really doesn't make any sense.
Basically
somehow.
that. And so he's like, maybe I'll fucking quit. And Amber's like, yeah, maybe me too. So then Doctor Strange's like, all right, well, now's as good a time as any. And he starts putting the pieces like next to each other. And then something just comes out of nowhere and starts just eating up all the pieces. Just, all the pieces are gone. And they're like, what the fuck? Anyway, everything starts changing because like Dormammu is using the evil eye. And he's converting the Earth into the dark
He's
dimension.
doing it. He's
doing
already
it.
done it. It's already happening.
Yes.
Wow, that's very unusual.
I know.
The bad guy gets a thing and wastes no time in using it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and all the regular...
He's like, I understand I have no time. Doctor Strange's gonna be on me like,
Yep.
white on rice.
So here we go. And so all the regular people start turning into fucking like monsters. So just now they're monsters.
Oh, jeez.
Just some straight up dark dimension body horror. And then Dormammu shows up in the sky and he's like, "Fuck all of you! I didn't break my promise."
I feel like Doctor Strange is gonna hold him accountable for breaking his promise, despite the fact that he says, I didn't break it.
I didn't do it.
It'd be fantastic if Doctor Strange was like, hey, technically, he didn't break his promise.
Yeah,
We're in the
there's
dark
nothing
dimension.
I can do.
He is
My
the
hands are
sovereign
tied.
here.
Yeah.
So we should all just get used to it. And who wants to come back to my sanctorum?
Yeah, anybody? Mantis? Valkyrie? Wanda? So anyway, they're all like, we'll beat you next time, Dormammu. So then it's next time. And all the humans are monsters and they're attacking them because
Except for this woman who's not a monster. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she was turning into a monster though. So they're all getting blasted.
Oh, why couldn't you be a reverse monster with the monster part up top, the lady part on the bottom?
So but Doctor Strange and everyone's like, hey, whoa, don't forget, like, don't blast them too hard. There's regular people, and if we win, they're gonna turn back into regular people. Like,
Right.
don't just fuck them all up. So they're like, all right.
Paco's like, I've already skewered like 17
Yeah,
monsters.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oops.
So they encounter an even bigger monster, but then S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up, and Nick Fury, who had been thwomped in a previous story, gets out of his hospital bed. He's like, let's do this.
Why isn't he a monster?
Oh, because he's a main character.
Also, what is that giant monster they're fighting? Is that like a bunch of people all like rolled up into one?
Or is
Right.
that one guy who got big for no reason?
6 and 1. So Nick
No
Fury's there.
rules. Dark Dimension, no rules.
There's no explanation, and there's no need to even worry about it. Just that Nick Fury, and the only reason why we're even bringing it up is because it's not just Nick Fury, it's also Dum Dum Dugan, and Countess Valentina Allegro de Fontaine is also there. And the reason why she's fun is because she's played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus in the MCU.
Yeah, I remember her.
hey,
Yes.
The Countess.
Yes, the Countess, exactly. And so she's on the team, and then she turns into a monster, and Nick Fury's like, oh man.
Oh, Countess, why?
Yeah, so he zaps her, and then he's like, "Oh man, I've got to do something," and we don't see what happens because it doesn't matter. He's just in there for 2 panels. So then the team goes, and they're gonna do their thing and fight Dormammu. Dormammu, meanwhile, is wielding the evil eye, and he's like, "This is awesome! I'm having the time of my life." And Loki's like, "Yeah, and fucking fix my eyes." And he's like, "Ha! Shut the fuck up, Loki. I wasn't gonna fix your stupid fucking eyes."
I don't even know how to fix your eyes.
Yeah, he goes, "Shut the fuck up. How about this?" And he turns and he creates a cage. And Logan's like, "What's this?" He's like, "You're in a cage now. You can't see it, but like you're in there." Yeah, I know you called the Avengers. Once I had the evil eye, it told me everything because it can also do that.
Oh.
So he's like, "This is amazing. I'm having the time of my life." And then the Watcher shows up and he's like, "Oh shit, the Watcher. Oh, let me guess. You are forbidden from interfering, but you're gonna break your oath and fuck up my day. How about that?" No, I'm just here to see what's going on. I've never seen the Earth turn into another plane of existence before.
That's pretty freaking cool.
That's pretty neat. It's worth watching. And
Now,
Dormammu's
that's
like,
something to watch. Nothing ever happens that's worth watching.
yeah, and Dormammu's like, "Well then watch this, you dummy piece of shit. Watch me beat the Avengers and shit." So
Oh, I'd love it if he also went against the Watcher and just like, you know.
no, he doesn't like shoot the Watcher. He's just like, "This is awesome. I'm gonna." Well, okay, great. The only reason Loki's here is so that he could listen to my bullshit. So now you're here to listen to my bullshit. Here we go.
Hey, you can tell him what you're seeing.
I mean, yeah. So then the mindless ones attack the Avengers while they make their way closer to Dormammu. And the mindless ones, Doctor Strange says that like they can't Like, you can't just punch them, but you absolutely can. But if you use a concentrated blast, it'll blow them up, and they do, and then they win. And then we see like what the other Marvel heroes are doing, because this is a huge story and a huge event. So we see the Fantastic Four just punching some hapless human being. Spider-Man's webbing up another one. Even the Inhumans are getting in on the action. Power Man is there. Kazar and Zabu, his loyal saber-toothed tiger, are there. Ghost Rider's driving around. Even Man-Thing's in on the action. And Doctor Doom is like, oh, fuck, Iberia's turning into a bunch of bullshit. Well, not on my watch. And we don't see what happens. But even Dracula shows up, and he's like, whoa! And I'm like, what?
This is my kind of party.
Well, hopefully they all know not to kill any of these monsters.
I certainly hope they
don't.
And, yeah.
So Dormammu uses the power of the eye, but also combined with his own Dark Dimension powers to rob the Defenders of their consciousness, just like Doctor Strange can. So they're all unconscious, and the Avengers are like, oh shit, the Defenders are defenseless.
So Doctor Strange has used his consciousness robbing move first on Dormammu.
Oh, but he's not being augmented by the evil eye. But he could use the Eye of Agamotto to do that.
Right.
So then the Avengers fight Dormammu, and Dormammu like mops the floor with most of them, but then he uses his magic powers to rob the Avengers of their non-natural born abilities, like their powers. And so Iron Man's suit disappears, and Thor turns into Donald Blake, and everyone's defenseless except for the Scarlet Witch, because she's like, I'm a mutant. My powers are me. Like, I was born with them, so you can't stop me. And so she uses her hex powers, and then Dormammu turns her into glue. So it really didn't matter. It was just a cool moment for Scarlet Witch for 2 fucking panels.
Be glue.
What? But glue?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to pick.
I know.
Why not like clay?
Why not anything? It's weird.
It's the Dark Dimension. People getting turned into monsters.
Yeah.
Be happy you're
By the way,
glue.
he doesn't even zap her into glue. He hits her with a storm cloud that rains on her that turns her into glue.
What? That's even weirder.
I know.
Why would a storm cloud turn her into glue?
Because it's in the Dark Dimension and it's crazy shit.
Everything's topsy-turvy.
Yeah. So then
Lol, so random.
Yeah, so Loki grabs Dormammu. He's like, fuck you, Dormammu, you piece of shit. Since you're monologuing, I can hear where you are. And because Loki can also transmogrify himself, so he turns himself into a fly, which he's done in Thor number 108.
Thank God I knew
fly?
I mean, yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah, why don't you turn yourself into something that can see and then turn yourself back?
No, turn yourself into a bat. You don't have to see.
That's true, but I haven't mastered being a bat, though. I'd just be a blind bat. So then he goes and attacks Dormammu, and he grabs him. And while they're grappling, Scarlet Witch uses her X powers to like re-solidify herself and free herself from the glueness that she was. And so she fires at Dormammu, and it fucks him up. And then the evil eye sucks Dormammu, who's like, I guess, not shielding himself from the power of the evil eye, even though Johnny Storm could just use the damn thing. Doesn't matter. But basically, maybe it's the act of the hex that she uses, but she fires her hex powers at Dormammu. It fucks up Dormammu. He turns into energy, which is then sucked up by the evil eye. So the evil eye, like, it just like floats in space, and it blasts its energy out, because I guess like it needs to purge its energy, otherwise it'll explode. And it blasts all the energy, dumps all the energy into Loki's fucking face. And so a consequence of it
Instead
is
of melting him.
it just gives him his sight back, but also makes him totally insane.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, I guess.
Yep.
Out of the frying pan.
Into the fire, Loki, huh? It
It just can't catch a break.
Nope.
That
Just
poor Loki.
weird.
Yep.
And so when that happens,
Scarlet Witch saves the day.
she does, for no reason, and but it's not like Scarlet Witch set up anything. It was just we needed somebody to win.
The Earth is still in the Dark Dimension, though.
Oh yeah, but now that that's happened and the evil eye has purged its energies, the Earth goes back where it came from, and everybody's fine.
Was that going to happen anyway? Since the evil eye has to purge its energies?
I think that like because Dormammu was wielding it.
Yeah, he was like continuously keeping the Earth there
Yes.
with it. As soon as he stopped, I guess it reverts back to
Precisely.
the way it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a magic wand where I have to constantly hold it down, otherwise it doesn't work
doesn't
anymore.
work.
Because the Earth's not supposed to be there, so as
Yeah.
long as if you're not actively holding it there, it's gonna go back.
I was going to eventually just tape the button down, but
Yeah.
I never got around to that phase. I was having fun.
Watcher's like, way to go, guys! Nice job.
I knew you could do it.
So then the story wraps up. Like, there's another chapter because, of course, like Black Knight's still a rock.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
And they didn't need the evil eye.
No, that was a lie.
No, the best part is at the end, they're like, okay. And Dr. Strange's like, well, now that we have the evil eye, we can change the Black Knight back into being a human. And I'm like, no, you can't. It was made up.
It's a lie.
They do. Like they do plan on doing it, and no one figures out that it was just horseshit.
Maybe Doctor Strange knows that it's not, and that's why it was a good lie for Dormammu to tell, because it wasn't even a lie.
Right. Probably. It was weird. But they do.
Maybe it has the power to do that. He was just like, oh my God, once all the pieces came together, Dormammu just took the opportunity to gobble them up.
Right. No, yeah, exactly. Doctor Strange never knew Dormammu's actual scheme.
If Loki's in this book and is part of Dormammu's scheme, then why was Dormammu's plan... Why did
Dormammu's plan had nothing to do with Loki.
The writers
wanted him
determine?
there.
I know, but they had Loki there. So why did the writers decide that Dormammu's plan would be to intercept the physical manifestation of a communication from Black Knight,
Black Knight Soul, but yes,
Black Knight Soul, and change it so that why didn't he just have Loki disguise himself as someone who Doctor Strange trusted and convince
Wong.
him that he could save Black Knight if he had the evil eye, which apparently is true, so he would have believed it if he did research.
Yeah. I think we wanted to see beyond the veil and show that Black Knight's soul was someplace else, because we want Doctor Strange to go there, because he's like, all right, well, now that we can fix Black Knight, I'm gonna go into that realm. I'm gonna astral project him there. I'm gonna go talk to him and tell him what we're gonna do. Oh shit, he's missing.
Oh.
Where did he go?
Where indeed? More like, when did he go?
What?
Also, Doctor Strange wants the Defenders to keep being a secret, and so he steals that memory from Nick Fury, and then promises that he's going to make the whole world forget the Defenders exist, except for the Avengers, because that's only common courtesy. And the Avengers are like, yeah, go ahead. And so they do.
So there's precedent for Doctor Strange making the world forget things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I did not know
Long-standing precedent.
Okay.
So Hawkeye is meanwhile hanging out at the Sanctum, and he's like, I should leave. This is stupid. And Namor's like, yeah, me too. And Hulk's like,
yeah, me Hulk.
And then Doctor Strange comes back and he's like, hey, he's missing. And then they're all blasted by crazy energy, and then they end up thousands of years ago.
I thought Doctor Strange was going to come back and everyone would have left. And
he's like, what the hell?
Where's everybody? Where's my team?
He's
all
gone.
Right, and now we have to hold hands so I can astral project. Oh, guys.
Hey, guys.
They're in the middle of the Crusades.
Ah.
And Black Knight's there, and he's like, hey, you guys!
Want to join?
Right. And
no, dude.
Yeah, and they're like, and then,
A, you're not supposed to be here. B, how about you just settle down?
Yeah, so Hulk's just like, fuck this, I need to smash something. So he smashes some catapults and some human beings. And then, thankfully, they can stop smashing people because they are then attacked by a gnome named Temax. And Temax is a gnome wielded by the Arabic forces during the Crusades. And so they fight the gnome. They blast the gnome, but the gnome can beat Hulk, so they leave. And they teleport themselves a little further away from the fight.
The gnome can beat Hulk.
It's a big gnome.
Which is not a gnome.
His name's Temax.
Temax?
A really important character that has no
Could beat
dialogue.
Hulk.
Yeah. Well, he could get the jump on Hulk.
Well, yeah, I wasn't expecting him.
So now it's a Prince Valiant comic.
Yeah. Black Knight, who of course is he has a lineage that goes very far back. He basically is he basically quantum leaped with his ancestor.
He's in his ancestor's body.
Well, his ancestor's in him. His soul created a new body and was transported to the Crusades, where he is Dane Whitman, but he supplanted his ancestor, who was actually here at that time, being the Black Knight. And so the spirit or whatever of his ancestor is within him in his new Dane Whitman body.
But he's still Dane Whitman.
That's right. Still remembers being an Avenger and all that stuff.
Then he's not a Rock.
No. Well, the Rock is still in Avengers.
Right.
Is in the Sanctum. So then...
Yeah, his ancestor should be in the Rock.
I don't understand
or
why
in nothing.
It's that his body, he regenerated a body. Why didn't his soul just go into
the Rock,
the existing body?
What
what happened to the body he displays?
It's done. It's gone.
He
dead.
vaporized it.
Yeah.
It's just
doesn't matter. Fuck him.
It's just so that the reader doesn't have to be confused as to who Black Knight is.
Just so they can keep drawing Black Knight.
Exactly.
But this is what Black Knight looks like.
And teams up with the team.
Okay.
Yeah. So they know there's a prisoner that they have locked away in their castle, and so they're like, all right, we need to go and get it, and so they go and they fight the gnomes.
Oh, now there are multiple gnomes.
Oh yeah, no, there's
there's all
more
the gnomes.
giant gnomes.
Why is this book still going?
Right, exactly.
I guess because it wasn't designed as a trade like they are now.
No,
It's
but
just part of a continuing
I
story.
remember
Well,
reading
no,
this
the-
and being like, should this be over?
The story is we have to fix Black Knight.
Yeah, that's
well,
the whole point.
What about Black Knight?
This book's losing me
I know
real
the,
fast.
The trolls get hit by water, and the day is saved. Meanwhile, one of the leaders of the opposing forces wields the evil eye,
Oh.
and they're like, "Oh shit!"
There it is.
But then the evil eye's original owner, Prester John, appears.
Oh, it's Prester John.
Oh, of course, Prester
Now
John.
shit's going down.
That's right. And he takes the evil eye, and he's like, "I like this is mine." So I
It's
know
like,
how.
yoink. It just comes up behind him.
It takes it away from him. No, he comes up in front of him and just takes it out of his hands, and then blasts him with it.
You can't use the evil eye on me. It's mine.
Yes.
Awesome.
So he's like, all right, I did it. And he's like, listen, Black Knight, you're a crappy Avenger. Why don't you just stay here in the 12th century? And Black Knight's like, yeah!
Why don't I?
Why don't I just do that?
Because
There's no
he'll mess up the
electricity or
timeline.
plumbing or anything. It's
Yeah,
great.
I could die of the Black Plague. That sounds great. Sweet. So
New
that,
status quo for Black Knight.
new
Trapped
exciting
in the
book.
past.
Doesn't that screw up lineages?
Fuck it. So then Prester John shoots them all with the evil eye because it can also send you back to the original timeline.
Yep.
Okay, so the evil eye is not evil.
No.
It can do
No,
whatever
it
you
can do all
want it to
kinds of
do.
shit.
No, that's just the thing we call it.
That's right.
It's just a thing. Things
just a-
aren't evil.
Yeah.
man.
It's a wand.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should call the ultimate nullifier the evil eye. It's more eye-shaped, and it's
It's
evil.
more
It destroys
evil.
the universe.
It only can be evil.
Yeah. So then they get sent back to the present, which is, of course, to say 1973. And so they're like, that was fucking dumb.
Well, that was weird.
And Hawkeye's like, if this is what Defender's adventures are like, count me the fuck out. So he leaves, and Namor's like,
I don't want to be a
yeah.
part of any of this
done.
anymore.
I'm out.
And literally, Namor, Hulk, and Silver Surfer are like, that was really dumb. And they all leave. And Doctor Strange is like, farewell!
Fair enough.
And he, for a while, I thought this was the book got canceled.
Right.
Because he literally looks at the reader and goes, farewell! Farewell to you all! Everyone's quitting the book, but it's not. The book keeps going, and I'm like, what? You just killed the team! And then Doctor Strange said goodbye to the reader.
Did the writer just want to get the evil eye back into existence?
Right, I assume they were just like, we gotta get the evil eye back.
You understand?
on
I
the
have plans for this.
I don't know. I think this kicks off a long-standing history of fuck Black Knight, let's leave him someplace where he doesn't originally come from. Because when Marvel purchased Malibu Comics, and that included the Ultraverse with characters like Prime and Ghoul and Prototype and Topaz, they leave Black Knight in the Ultraverse.
Oh.
He's like, fuck it, I'll stay here. And I'm like,
Yeah?
so you were expendable, is what you're saying.
Yes.
And it's
Here,
like, we're gonna
here. You can stay there, but we're keeping the ebony blade.
Yeah, they do. Because in the
yeah.
Ultraverse, he uses a lightsaber.
You can't call it that.
They don't call it that, but it is straight up a lightsaber. And it's just Black Knight leads the Ultra Force, and it's like, okay. And I don't know what those
Alright.
adventures are like because I, like everyone else in the world, haven't read them. I just know they exist. Because I remember Marvel was really pushing it at the time. They also resurrected the Phoenix and did an event with those two universes. They were like, oh, look at this. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. What a neat adventure I'll never read. So, anyway, there you have it. We'll see you guys next week with an all-new episode. I'm Sal.
Everything.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading, I guess.
I guess.
This was insane.
I know. That's
Classic.
That's what Avengers is. I love doing Avengers books because it's like, god damn it.
Oh my god.
Look at these fucking idiots. Just dicking around.